projects, experiments, the more you look into it, the more it sure does look similar to the things that are going on now. But I'm sure it's purely just all a coincidence, like the things we're going to talk about now, for entertainment purposes. No facts. Right off the bat, we're going to start with one of the biggest coincidences and kind of the theme for this video. Manhattan Project officially started in 1942. Coincidentally, that's the same year that the United States started their biological warfare program. Not only did they start their biological program, but they started the experiments as well. And before we move on, did I find a typo in the DOJ's virtual library? And did you know that Japan released 15 million fleas as a bioweapon to spread the plague? That really makes me wonder, why is Bill Gates breeding 1 million mosquitoes? But anyway, back to the Manhattan Project, the race to create the atom bomb.
Which was the code name for the US government's program to develop the world's first atomic bomb.
Well, there's a lot of people that speculate if the atomic bomb even existed, if it was CGI or whatever. Well, all I'm gonna say about that is, you guys remember the video of the shockwave from the atomic bomb testing?
This house was 6,000 feet from ground zero. Other homes that were closer were incinerated.
Everybody has seen that very famous footage of the houses just imploding and then exploding out.
Now, all those videos from all those tests, all of those tests were filmed with Kodak film. Now, I told you a couple videos ago, George Eastman, the creator of Kodak, the guy who secretly funded the MIT campus. The same guy who only liked vanilla flavored things. Not only was his film the only thing the tests were recorded on, but he funded the campus where they fed kids radioactive cereal.
It's true. American children in state-run institutions like the Fernald School were fed radioactive oatmeal as part of studies by MIT sponsored by the Atomic Energy Commission.
Well, it's one hell of a coincidence if you ask me. But moving on, in my last video, a lot of people had comments about the fog.
Now to a News Nation exclusive investigation into a secret government experiment that was carried out in St. Louis. Residents tell us they still remember a mysterious fog.
Well, the next coincidence not only has to do with the fog, but also the ever so famous lines in the sky. Well, I'm sure it's just a coincidence, but St. Louis isn't the only place where this fog or spraying went down. The Army did a lot of these tests all over the country, Texas, Minnesota, and what were they spraying? Zinc cadmium sulfide. Minneapolis, Fort Wayne, Corpus Christi, and many more, all sprayed with this radioactive zinc sulfide. And how did they deliver it? By plane.
This study was secretive for a reason. They didn't have volunteers stepping up and saying, yeah, I'll breathe zinc cadmium sulfide with radioactive particles.
These Army archive pictures show how the tests were done in Corpus Christi, Texas in the 1960s. In Texas, planes were used to drop the chemical, but in St. Louis, the Army placed chemical sprayers on buildings and station wagons. City officials were kept in the dark about the tests. The Cold War cover story was that the Army was testing smoke screens to protect cities from a Russian attack.
We've already talked about how low radiation destroys your cognitive abilities. Well, the stuff they were spraying over Texas and Minnesota hits your kidneys, weakens your bones, lung inflammation, cancer, stillbirth, on and on and on. But don't worry, just like the government told the people back in the day, those tests were far below dangerous levels. And I'm sure that even though all the things that were going on then seem to be similar to the things that are going on now, it's all just a coincidence, right? Stay safe.